Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending upon where you are and what time of the day you are watching this. This is the Natalie and Ernie show. And today we're going to bypass all of the business ideas and business things we know. We talked about giving you information about farming out different things that you may not be good at or you want to do, so that you can concentrate your efforts. But today we're going to talk about the silly season because most people don't have businesses on their mind. Some of you do. So, let's take the stress away from your silly season, no matter what part you celebrate in Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, whatever, it doesn't matter. The New Year's, everybody celebrates, except for me. I stay home because I don't go out on amateur night. And I suggest you don't either because, well, I'm cross-eyed enough without drinking too much and driving, so I don't. And I would recommend that you don't either. It's a matter not only that you help yourself because you don't become entangled with the law or hurt something, but if you hurt somebody else, you have to live with that the rest of your life. And I know people that have been in accidents, that have drinking and driven and different things like that. So please, that's my message to you. Don't drink and drive. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good brandy slush and I will drink my beer. Cold here in the United States, as we do, and I know across the pond you guys like it warm. I've never tried it that way, but my father-in-law, who was from Germany, liked it warm, and I would always bring over my own beer nice and cold. So that's what I'm going to do this year. What are you going to do, Natalie?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and it's the sun is slowly going down. It's an afternoon day, and here in the UK we actually have a heat wave. Yes, we have a heat wave in the UK, which is really weird. It's really strange. Now, you might not understand it, and feel free to Google it, but we are at about 12 to 13 degrees, and that's very warm for this time of year. Anyway, I have now done my English duty and talked about the weather, because no English person can have a conversation without talking about the weather. So, job done, tick, done. I do like a good drink. I'm a gin and tonic on a weekend, and I have treated myself to some eggnog. I know you guys, this is a big American drink. It's not something that you can find here in the UK, or it's not something I've even heard of until recently. And I never had it in South Africa. So I've treated myself to an eggnog, but I do like a good glass of wine as well. When it comes to beer, not a beer drinker, but in South Africa, we like it cold as well. So I think the English just do things weird. Yes, we are in that time of year where the stress just can go really crazy. You're trying to unwind from your job or with your business. You're trying to work out how to take time. You have the pressure of Christmas. You have the pressure of having that perfect Christmas. The Hollywood, It's a Wonderful Life, all these Hollywood movies, it's snowing and they're all singing and dancing and everything is perfect. Everybody gets on well. The whole extended family all get on well, and they have the perfect gifts, the perfect turkey or whatever meal you have, and everything looks perfect. Who here has a perfect Christmas every year? Hands up. Have you ever had a perfect Christmas? No, life does not happen that way. But what you can do is you can manage your expectations about Christmas. You can manage and plan Christmas and create your own way of celebrating Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, just getting through December and all the stresses of everybody shopping and going crazy and the stress. And one thing that I've learned over the years is to create a Christmas that I want, not a Christmas that Hollywood tells me to have, or the adverts tell me to have, or my family tell me to have, but a Christmas that I want. So we do it really simple. The husband cooks. Yes. He makes a lovely roast dinner with Yorkshire pudding, By the way, that's not a dessert. That's actually I don't know what it is, but it's made with flour, milk, and egg, and it's baked in the oven, and you put gravy with it. It's actually not that bad. So he makes a good Yorkshire pudding. We have roast lamb. He cooks. We eat too much. We have a nice glass of wine or two or three. Shh, don't say anything, Ernie. Keep quiet. We spend the day with the dogs, and we just spend a quiet day with the two of us. I like to watch It's a Wonderful Life, and we watch an old Christmas movie, but it's about a day that we just celebrate together. It's us being together and just doing whatever we want to do. We don't do the whole lot of presents, and maybe I have it easier because we don't really have family here in the UK. Well, he's English, so he doesn't really associate with any of his family, and I don't really have family here in the UK. So it's a really great excuse not to spend time with family. But it has taken years to get this into place. But I do remember what it's like to have to feel obligated to spend time with Auntie Sue, who you don't see all year round, and then, or spend time with your family who you maybe argue with all the time, and trying not to have those arguments, trying not to have that stress. Been there, done that, and had those arguments. So one of the things that I want to offer you as a top tip, and I mentioned it earlier, manage your expectations. Don't expect a perfect Christmas. Don't expect Auntie Sue not to drive you up the wall when she drives you up the wall all the time anyway. Don't expect your family to be different to the way they normally are. Your cousins, sisters, brothers, parents, whoever it is, don't expect them to be different. I had a call with my mother the other day, and she was saying, oh, but your brother, I want him to spend Christmas with me. Why can't he be nicer and do things the way that he should be doing them? And I said to her, don't expect him to be somebody he's not, or to change just because it's Christmas. So manage your expectations. Enjoy the Hollywood movies. Enjoy the adverts, because I know some of them are really good and they're really appealing. Enjoy the movies for what they are, escapism, the idea of a perfect family. But realize that your family and everybody in it is human, and they have their human emotions and their baggage that they've been carrying, and the baggage you're carrying as well. So it's about just managing those expectations, and maybe, if you can, plan your own Christmas the way you want it. Who says you have to spend it with every single member of your family when you don't get on with every single member of your family? Break the mold. Have I just said a bad thing? But just manage those expectations of what you think Christmas should be like.
That's right. You know, I always bring different things that I think people will enjoy based on their personalities and what they like. And for my brother-in-laws, there's 4 of them, and there's always 3 here every year, because the 4th one is in Illinois, around the Chicago area. So they like the beer. I make sure that I bring beer and different things like that. And one of my sister-in-laws last year, you know, she likes to argue and talk about every little thing. And of course, it was about maybe 6 or 7 weeks after I had my brain aneurysm and my stroke. And, you know, talking about that, my sister-in-law looks at me and she says, you didn't have a stroke. I said, well, I did. Well, no, you didn't. It's like, well, then go talk to the doctors. I said, I argued with him too, but he has proof that I've had a stroke. So you go argue with him. Don't argue with me. I don't want to hear it. Keep your mouth shut and your opinions to yourself. And she's the one without children that likes to tell everybody else how to raise their children. And, you know, we tell her, just shut up and enjoy the day. And if you want to make a problem for us, uh, get out of here. We don't want to hear it. So that eliminates stress right then and there when you nip it in the butt. And, you know, you and I talked before we came online. So basically, I don't put up with garbage and people trying to push their opinion on me. And that if you do that, that'll eliminate a lot of stress. And if you do that over time, your personality will get better and adapted to standing up to adversity. And another thing that I want to point out that you talk about is not that common over here. Maybe I misunderstood you a little bit, Natalie, but I thought you said that we in America don't know or about eggnog. And
No, you know about eggnog. We in the UK don't know about eggnog.
oh, okay, you
Oh,
don't
I know
about it.
eggnog's American.
All right, yeah. You know, because I was thinking of, well, when I was a bartender back in the 70s, we used to bake that stuff. And I thought, oh man, who would drink this? We found out, you know, many people would buy a lot of different things. So
Learned
I
about it
mean,
from the
okay,
movies.
well, sure. You know, like on Tool Time, Jill's father, the colonel, comes over and goes, I don't want any eggnog. I know what egg is. I don't know what nog is. And then, you know, you want to have the perfect disaster for Christmas, watch Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. And that is something because you feel sorry after a while watching this. You're thinking, well, his bonus will barely cover all his repairs that are going to be made to his house. I'm sure insurance doesn't cover everything that happened to them, but who knows? It's the spirit of it, you know, the end of, oh, I did it, you know, where he had his whole family together. And that was fun and comical. But I guess the best part of that movie is Cousin Eddie standing there and he goes, the house sure does look good, Clark. You didn't do this all on our account.
Yes, I guess not every Christmas movie is about the perfect Christmas. I forgot about the Chevy Chase movies.
Another one that I like is a Christmas movie, of course, is The Holiday Inn. But that was made way back in the 40s. And you could feel and see the prejudice in that movie. And I look at it now, and there's parts I do like, but then there's parts I don't like. And it disgusts me because of the way certain people are treated in that movie. But that was the only role that these type of people could get. So they took them. And they allowed themselves, or were allowed, to be degraded and put down. That movie would not be made the same today. And I think we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go in, especially here in the United States, in bridging that gap. So, you know, I don't care what religion you are, what color you are, what creed, anything. Just have a good, safe holiday. And please be careful out there. One thing I will ask you to do to change your personality is put aside your prejudice. Put aside your thoughts about people you may not understand, because that's what prejudice comes from, not understanding. People are not saying, well, I'm going to be this certain type of person. You actually are born into that, so respect that. And I know it because growing up, man, I couldn't stand that song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because everybody used to pick on me because my birthmark was over my nose, and everybody would point at me when the kids would sing that song. And it still makes me mad to this day. And it's all about, so what? Who cares? I'm on stage with that. I'm on stage talking with this big blotch over my eye. Who cares? I don't. I'm making money helping people. You can do the same. But start with your heart. Start by having a spirit of the holiday. and keep that spirit going all through the year, not just on holidays where you give somebody a present or you give somebody a morsel of food because they're hungry. Do it all year long. Any final thoughts before we go, Natalie?
I like that. I mean, this is the season for, yes, season to be jolly, season for good food, but it's also a season for forgiveness and to learn and accept others for their ideas, for their thoughts, for who they are. And it's also about finding a way to bring harmony into your life and to connect with your humanness and to really just find who you are and who those around you, who they are, and get to know who they really are without all the ideals or all the shoulds and what ifs and everything else that sits with us. But I do also like the way that you said about be responsible as well with your drinking and driving. That can be quite something. But also take time out for you. Just take some time out to reconnect with who you are, to really absorb what's happened in the past year. What have you learned? What haven't you learned? What can you learn? And what can you take with you into 2022? So Ernie has challenged us to put aside our prejudices, put aside our whatever it is into 2022 and take the season that December is supposed to be, and let's carry that with us into 2022 and look to see how can we make our lives, those around us, and the world a better place because we are in it. And I think that's a really great thought to have that Ernie shared to take with us for this. And as I said, manage your expectations, take some time out for yourself, and we will see you in the new year where we'll be hit the ground running and we'll be back on it. Right. But I appreciate this time of year. It's the silly season. It's not known for the silly season for nothing, but just enjoy it, learn from it, take some time out, enjoy that drink, but drink sensibly or get a designated driver.
Yes, always have and make sure you have a sober designated driver.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I look forward to seeing you next year.
Yes, and we will look forward to that as well. And think of, if you want, and put in the comments below or email us directly and what you would like to see and what you would like to know and what information you want to help you grow your business, make something better. If you do it for yourself, then you do it for others. And that's giving as well, because you give of yourself. My business, yes, is growing. Natalie's business is growing. When I would have enough, I would be able to go with over here, we had a big tornado outbreak last week, and a whole township in Kentucky was wiped out, the whole town. Those kids, those families are not going to have a Christmas like they wanted. So what is it? Imagine if you could actually take a truckload, food, clothing, toys, other presents, luxuries, things that people were going to get at Christmas, and now they're not going to get anything. All they're going to get is help to clear out their home, what's left of it, and plans to rebuild. So let's think of them as you're sitting down in your cozy home or wherever, or with friends and family, and think of those people. If that doesn't touch your heart, you're dead from the waist both ways. So with that, I want to say happy holidays and have a great season. Be safe and be kind to others. And remember, you can design a life if you want to.
Mhm.